All right, what is up? Welcome back to the channel. It's your boy, JONNI SHREVE, IFBB Pro, Mr. Tell Like It Is. Today, guys, we're doing a tier list, and it's biceps. Bicep exercises. So if you're new to the channel, here's how it goes. When I go to the gym, or if I'm programming for somebody, I got my go-to exercises. That's what I plan to do. When I get to the gym, I have my machine, I'm gonna go to option 2, then I go to option 3, and then down to, this is all I got, and then last but not least, it'll be meh, which would be like, might be a rest day. So here's how an exercise gets ranked at the top. Number 1, has to have the full range of motion. Not just the lengthened part, not the shortening part, the full range of motion, and that exercise will give you the most amount of muscle recruitment for the full range of motion. 2, you can progressive overload it. So as soon as you're done adding reps or set intensifiers, you can add some weight and keep going up. You can progressive overload. And then last but not least, it has to be easy to do. You don't gotta get into something and you have to get into it and do something weird and walk with your body. You can just literally, basic fundamentals, basic form, you should be able to do said exercise. Now this is biceps, so I don't know what the heck you'd be doing crazy when just doing biceps. Literally just moving your arm up and down. All right, first up we got spider curls. Spider-Man, Spider-Man, does whatever a spider can. Spider curls, are they a good exercise? Let's talk. First off, full range of motion. What do we get? Okay, so at the bottom of this lift, when the weight is in front like this, we're not getting much because we're kind of like in the dead spot, right? We're just hanging. It'll be like standing up and having your arms hang to the side. If anything, what's being challenged is more so your shoulder blades keeping them up, or even if you have them down, regardless. So we're getting good activation, but only until we actually start moving the weight up. Now you can do a few things to, lengthen that part there by, just pushing your shoulders out a bit, but then that makes the exercise that much harder and takes away from the exercise itself. So when it comes to full range of motion, yes, we get it, but again, we're only getting a lot more of it when we're getting to the shortening part of lift, not the full contraction, not the full entire range of motion. Secondly, progressive overload, you definitely can. So good exercise to progressive overload, just add more weight. And because we're chest support, loading it's pretty easy. And then again, when you're doing the exercise, how easy to do? Fairly easy. You're basically laying on your stomach from floor to core, engaging your core and your torso, and then lifting the weight. Again, because we're not getting the fullness out of this, this for me is gonna be an option 3. All right, we got cable hammer curls. Good exercise? Yes, very good exercise. Now again, before we continue, remember, we are primarily working the biceps. I wanna get peak biceps. I want peak bicep growth. I want this exercise to give me all it can for my biceps. So if we're adding in other muscle groups like forearms, we're kind of taking away from the biceps, right? You wanna make that clear. Either way, cable hammer curls. Where do those bad boys go? Well, let's talk about full range of motion. Because in the cable, guess what? We get a great stretch at the bottom. We can adjust ourselves in a way if you stand back a little bit and have the weight pull your arm, keep your shoulders back away from your ears. We're getting a good stretch at the bottom of the lift. And then full range of motion, great. If we're stepping back a little bit, we can lengthen the contraction at the bottom, and we're getting a full range of motion. Great stimulus to the muscle, great exercise for overall muscle recruitment, muscle hypertrophy. Now when it comes to progressive overload, yeah, of course you can. You just keep adding pins, right? After you've done doing set intensifiers and all that jazz, you can just basically go up by whatever increment is actually on the machine. So great exercise to do. Now when it comes to overall bicep activation, yeah, we're getting forearms in there and it's a good exercise, but will that be a go-to for me? No, but it'll be a really good exercise to do for sure. And that's gonna be in the option 2. Just because we're doing biceps and there's a lot of really good bicep exercises that I would do before I would do this. We got dumbbell reverse curls. How are dumbbell reverse curls? Dumbbell reverse curls for us, let's talk about the full range of motion and overall muscle activation. Full range of motion, what happens? Well, we're doing dumbbells. And because we're doing dumbbells, dumbbells are going to rely totally on gravity. So unless we put our body in a position to emphasize the stretch at the bottom, we're not getting much stretch at the bottom because we're standing. Now we're doing also reverse curls. This exercise will be good for your forearms, but when it comes to getting the most out of your biceps, well, being in a supinated position while curling is gonna give us a better overall activation to the entire bicep than having your arms than having your hand in a pronated position and getting a lot more forearms. So when it comes to this exercise, for me, for overall bicep development, it's gonna be like this is all you got type thing. It's going at the bottom there. This is it. Yes, I know I have genetics, but trust me, I've had arms my entire life, and when you have a muscle group that you like your entire life, guess what you do? You train it, especially if you started off in the gym at 11 years old and you had a set of dumbbells at home before that. I've been doing dumbbell curls literally probably since I was 8 years old, 100%, all right? So trust me when I say I've done every bicep exercise on the planet, I have. So my opinion's pretty solid. Top 5 max Olympian with big arms. We got barbell drag curls. How's this exercise? This exercise would be so much better if it wasn't a free weight barbell, right? Again, we're gonna have the same problem. All free weights, you know, spoiler alert, any free weight exercise in here that requires us to be just in a upright position in terms of like standing at the bottom of the lift is gonna take away from the full range of motion in terms of the entire lift, giving us our best bang for its buck, building biceps. This exercise, although is a good exercise, we're gonna get the most out of this at one part of the contraction. Yes, lowering it back down is good, but about maybe a third of the lift on the way down isn't gonna get as much as it could as if it was maybe with a cable of some sort. But again, good exercise, but it's gonna be at the bottom. It's gonna be one of those like, it's all you got type things. You know what? I can't say that. I can't say that because you know what, man? I gotta put up there option 3. It's gonna be an option 3 for me. It's 100%, that's my mistake. It's an option 3 for me. I just had a flashback on how many times I've actually done drag curls and they're a good valid option. They're a valuable option, 100%. Anyway, that's gonna stay there. All right, now we got seated cable incline curls. Say that thing 20 times fast. How's exercise? Well, guys, it's doing all the things that a free weight dumbbell cannot do, especially now even being in a incline position. If we're doing cables, if we're doing free weights, the way we make free weight curls that much better is by doing them incline. Now, not only are we doing them incline, but now we also have extra tension from the cable to pull us back even more, giving us a lot more emphasis on the entire range of motion. So this thing is going to be a banger when it comes to the full range of motion, giving us the most amount of muscle recruitment. 2, progressive overload, 100%. You can, progressive overload. We're in a seated position, we got leverage, we just gotta put the pins up a couple, we're good to go. And then when it comes down to, can anyone do this? Basic fundamentals in terms of sitting down on a bench in an incline position from floor to core, being active, engaged, and you know, chest, all that good stuff. Super simple to do. It's gonna be at the top. That's a go-to for sure. Back in the day when you do barbell curls, we literally do the barbell. You know, you go to the gym and they got the fixed bars. We didn't touch those. When it says barbell curl, it literally meant we're going to get the barbell from the rack and go throw a plate on there. I'm curling your squat. That's why I'm curling barbell. Should I have? Probably not. But when you can, is a good exercise. Does it have to be with a barbell? No, it can be with a daggone fixed bar. That's totally fine. Now when it comes down to us, what's our limiting factor? Our range of motion on this is good, but again, when we're talking about being in an upright position, standing free weight, there's nothing happening at the bottom. We're just like this. Unless you push your hands out like this to stretch it a little bit. Yeah, but unfortunately in this we're not. So still a good exercise to do. Can you progressive overload? For sure you can, 100%. Now, being in a super like this, you know, externally rotated position or supination at your wrist sometimes hurts for people. So, you know, this is a good exercise, but it's gonna be for me a same thing down with the option 3. Again, still a good exercise to do. Let's not forget like back in the day, that's all they had. They didn't have machines, they had a barbell. All right, we got supinated dumbbell curls. This is gonna maybe mess a couple people up. It's gonna mess some people up. I'm gonna put this one in option 2. Why? You're like, whoa, wait a minute, man, it's free weight. And most stuff you already have right now is basically an option 3. Why is it an option 2? Because when you're doing dumbbells and you do them properly, if you watch some of the videos I've done, you can get a good stretch by just like, you know, opening your chest up and then making sure we don't stop down here at the side. I have a video we'll put there and link there, go see the video. And we get a better overall range and then we're supinated. So we're in a good supinated position. We can actually scoop into the position when we're doing the exercise. We don't have the limiting factor of like the barbell being in front of our body. You know, it just gives me a better overall free range and full range of motion here. So for me, it's going to be an option 2. I find that people don't utilize just your regular supinated dumbbell curl enough. And they just kind of give it the axe like, ah, nah, man, you suck. You're out of here. Incline dumbbell curl, any other curl. If you could just master the basic supinated dumbbell curl, you'd be surprised of how much carryover and activation and awareness and muscle mind connection you would have with every other exercise. Easy bar curls. Easy bar curls, again, here it comes, guys. You're gonna be like, Johnny, what are you talking about? That's crazy. It's like, this is my list. 30 years of, literally 30 years of experience training arms. Extremely supinated barbell curl fails in terms of for everybody, the easy bar makes up. So having that little bit of an angle makes it that much more comfortable. And we can do a couple things just by just extending a little bit of the arm at the shoulder to be able to stretch the bicep the way I do them. Sure, you probably seen a couple videos that Doc Mike's on as well too. Even, you know, Mike Van Wyck. Great exercise to do. So for me, when it comes to 4-range of motion, we can get the fullness out of 4-range of motion because of how our hands are placed. 2, we can progressive overload. 3, is it easy to do? Yeah, man, these are bicep curls, man. Like, we should be able to do all these. Like, the number 3 shouldn't even be an issue. If number 3, if we got to think about like, hey man, can someone do this exercise? Why are we making that so hard? Why are we making a basic exercise so hard to actually do? This guy's gonna be an option 2 for me. All right, preacher curl with the easy bar. Favorite exercise, one of my absolute favorite. Where I'm trying to get you guys to learn in terms of like the supinated dumbbell curls or the easy bar curls, even the barbell curls to be honest, but regardless of that, what I'm trying to get most people to do to emphasize that stretch, the preacher machine or the preacher bench does. So great exercise, full range of motion, where you're getting the most amount of muscle recruitment from the entire range. Progressive overload, of course you can. You just add you just add some smart increments. We don't have to always add 10 pounds, add of 2.5, then add of 5, whatever. Great. Can anyone do it? Of course. Again, guys, we're doing bicep curls. So right here, guys, this one is gonna be a go-to. It is a go-to, 100%. Cable curls. Cable curls are a go-to most of the time, if not all the time. Full range of motion. The entire range is getting the most amount of muscle recruitment because we have the cable that's going to keep tension high. You can progressive overload. Just add a little bit more on that stack. Or not the whole stack, but just pull the pin down a bit. Can anyone do it? Of course you can. Go-to, it's at the top. Now, where does this go in terms of at the top? I'll shuffle around. I'm gonna shuffle the other ones around, but I'll shuffle this one around. I'll be like, hey man, here's what's going first at the go-to top, all right? So 100%, that's what's going there. Cable reverse curls. Now, I'm not gonna give all cable exercises a bunch of love, right? We're talking about like, I want the biceps to get all the love, right? If we're adding forearms in there, I can't do it. So for me, it's gonna go down with the option 3. Reason why it's not an option 2, reason why it's not a this is all they got, is because it's a cable and I can still get a good amount of flex in there with it. So when it comes down to it, guys, it's gonna go down because it's not, it's good. I'm strict, it's biceps. This ain't forearms, this is biceps. If I had a forearm exercise in there, I put that in there. Unilateral cable curls, of course, it's gonna go to the top, 100%. 4-range of motion. The way the guy's standing, we can just say even the way he's standing and on the way down, he's even doing it in a way that I would say this even looks like a Bayesian curl. So let's just say it's the Bayesian curl, but regardless, this is gonna be a go-to movement. At the top, 4-range of motion, most amount of muscle recruitment through the entire range. Progressive overload is super simple. We're in a cable, right? Pin selectorized. And then easy again, yes, it's easy. We have reverse easy bar curls or reverse barbell curl. Regardless, it's reverse, right? Yes, guys, I know it. I get it. Like, yeah, some of y'all are like, man, Johnny, man, I do these, man, I get a crazy bicep pump. Man, we talking about Johnny. Like, okay, cool. I bet you do. And that's why it's going to, this is all you got. It's not going to, we see right now, we don't got no rest days right now. Right now, there ain't no mat. If you at the bottom, this is all they got, and you're looking up, you're looking up at even option 3 is gonna give you better overall stimulus to the bicep. So as much as you're like, man, I like my reverse curls, I get a crazy bicep pump. Of course you do, but guess what else gets you a crazy bicep pump? All of these exercises. Incline dumbbell curls. Where does this go? It's going to the top. Why? Because guess what? Because we're on an incline, this is where free weights get to shine. When you put yourself in a position where it can give you more stretch and overall engagement and load throughout the full range of motion. So this is a go-to exercise for me, for sure. Full range of motion, great. Top to bottom, most amount of muscle recruitment, great. Can you progressive overload? Of course you can. And guess what? Because of this position you're in, we can just go up by small increments, guys, like literally. And then easy to do, yes, of course it's easy to do. Single arm dumbbell preacher curl. It's just as good as the other one. Probably better because you're doing one at a time. So you can actually focus on one arm that might be smaller than the other. If you guys notice on this side, my right is smaller than my left. Ah, that's symmetrical. I don't care, I'm just joking. Regardless, good exercise to do because you can focus on the weaker side. We can give that side the love it needs. Full range of motion, 100% we're getting that with the preacher. Same as we're getting with the easy bar preacher curl. Progressive overload, of course. Easy to, of course, going to the top. Here's an exercise, guys, that we got our first met. We got our first met. When I see people in the gym doing cable curls like this, right? It's not that good, right? Because like when we're trying to stretch, it's not that good. It's a meh for me. It's a meh. Like here, it's like you might think it's pulling you, but it's not pulling you the way you wanted to pull you because the way your shoulder is. The more you're in this position, the better it is on your bicep. The higher you get, you're just not getting the most you can out of it. Like you flex here, then it's pulling you this way. This makes more sense than this. So this is a meh. If you like doing the exercise, keep doing it. Do you, boo-boo? Go ahead and do it. But I'm letting you know right now that there's a bunch of these other exercises that are better than this. All right, we got crossbody hammer curls. I love it. That's one of my favorite exercises. I love doing crossbody hammer curls. I do. You're getting a little help from the chest, you know, adducting and being in. And again, at the bottom of this lift, we're not getting the most amount of muscle recruitment. It's a really good meathead movement to do. Unfortunately, again, when it comes to the full range of motion, we're not getting that. It's a dumbbell exercise. Progressive overload, we definitely can. But again, the heavier we get, we're gonna pull a lot more of that chest in to help actually pull the weight in. So for this exercise, it's gonna be an option 3 for me. Concentration curls. Where are these gonna go? They're gonna go to the top right away. Why? Because I've showed you guys how I do these and how we get an amazing stretch on this exercise. So the full range of motion we're getting, we're basically almost putting ourselves in a preacher curl position, almost putting our arm inside of our leg. We're basically doing that, but instead of it being out this way, it's across like this inside of our leg. So good exercise to do because again, we're manipulating our body in a position to make that free weight make sense through a full range of motion. So this is gonna go to the top. Full range of motion is great. Progressive overload is super simple and it's easy to do. We're doing bicep curls. And now we have your regular dumbbell hammer curls. Dumbbell hammer curls are gonna go exactly where the other ones went. The crossbody, you know, hammer curl or just a regular hammer curl is gonna have the same problems. At the bottom of the lift, not much going on, but still a good exercise to do. And that's gonna be an option 3 for me. Last but not least, we got lying cable curls. What is the difference between doing lying cable curls and standing cable curls? Well, here's the difference. Lying cable curls, when you're on the ground, there's no limiting factor of your body posture at all. You just sit, you just lay on the ground, make sure your body is still active, your torso and whatnot, but then you have the cables that just are pulling your body away, which is great. So being in this position is good, but again, when it comes to like a really good stretch here, it's only really stretching you this way. It can give you that good sensation that you're getting, but like where the standing bicep curls, where the standing cable curls make up ground in terms of like, yeah, I can get a better stretch. This one, not necessarily, because at the bottom of this, like, it doesn't matter how you adjust the weight. Yeah, you might be able to get a better stretch from here, but again, if you think of angle-wise, it's only pulling you this way. That's not giving you much of a stretch. It's still a good exercise, but this is gonna be, for me, like a down to the option 3. Now, let's just go to the top and look at this. Let's go to my go-tos, all right? Where do I put these go-to exercises? I'm gonna go to the gym, for sure. I want my best bang for my buck and where I feel good. This is like, for me, a feel-good thing, all right? I'm gonna go from here. If anything, it's gonna be preacher curl. It's gonna go to the top. Then after that, I like doing free weight incline curls more than I like doing cable. I don't know why. I think it's more so because like depending on what kind of machine you get in, if you have a machine, like if you have a cable machine that's too far away, it's just the angles aren't good for it, right? Even when I train it, guys, it's like not as, it's too far than I'd like. So I get a better overall stretch when I'm sitting in with the actual dumbbells. Still a good option because right after that, I'm literally gonna put the cables right next to it. And then when it comes to like, you know, curls in a sense, curls are gonna come like after preacher curl and then after Zotman curls. And this would be my lineup, if anything. Hope you enjoyed the video, guys. If there's other exercise that I missed, let me know in the comment section below. I'll do a part 2 of this. The next time, you know how it is. Iron sharpens iron. Progressive overload your life. In the meantime, keep dream chasing. Peace.